Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to coverage of a special Sunday night event on LSRTV, your home for sim racing, as we give you an enhanced broadcast from the world's greatest race course in Indianapolis, Indiana, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Super late models, 100 laps, blue collar. It doesn't get any more exciting than this. Hope you've had a great start to your weekend and start to your week to come. Outland joined alongside is Samuel Dyer in the production chair, handling the buttons at the LSR TV production truck in Wichita Falls, Texas, is Wooten. On behalf of Jeff Stabnow, this is a Rocket Media production. Samuel, hope you had a great weekend, bud. We always enjoy working together on the S&B Cup and Truck Series. The playoffs are looming. One race to go. Talladega's going to be fun, but super late models on Indianapolis on a Sunday night. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be amazing to watch these guys here tonight. A little bit earlier than what we're used to broadcasting, you and me. Usually it's Monday nights when we start our week off, but getting to see super late models at Indy, it is going to be one of the more funner things to watch. You don't see it practically ever, really. It's one of those special occasions on iRacing that allows us to see 2.5 mile racing at Indy, where a course that's really tricky for some, but it's an ultimate blast because you just don't know how the driver's going to react with how long the straightaways are, on how the draft is going to react with these super late models. And also, a little bit of difference, we're usually always going to be talking about tires and the different factors that we're going to be seeing for strategies with tires. It's more of a fuel strategy based race than anything else.
And I do believe as well serve tires for sure. Tire conservation is going to have to be a premium here at Indianapolis. I believe we will see a cycle of green flag pit stops if we do not get any yellow. But I believe super late models on super speedways, it's going to be fun. It's going to be unique. If you remember this time around last year, we had the late model series, Samuel, before your time, but I told you, go back to YouTube, look at the race broadcast from that event at Daytona. It was a wild shank. Indianapolis will not disappoint tonight as well.
Absolutely not. We're so excited for tonight. It's going to be a blast. 100 laps of really kind of an unknown. I know I watched back the first annual race of this blue collared event, and it honestly was a fun race to watch. There was just a dominance from that of Samuel Fenton, and then you watched everyone else, and it was kind of a cluster of different drivers battling one another all race long. So we're expecting to see a lot of drivers mixing it up a lot in the middle of the pack, but I'm wondering, will we see another extreme dominance type of a run, or will it be a little bit closer? Because there was a big change. We went from that of an open race last year. It is now a fixed race, meaning everyone's on the same setup. They're going to be all on equal ground. It's all about the drivers at this point.
Should be a fun time. When we return from Indianapolis, we show qualifying and prepare on virtual Indiana iRacing LSR TV.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSR TV. Of course, remember, you can watch it, and then you can listen to it on CRN, the Community Radio Network, at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
Back here at the Indianapolis, the Blue Collar Brickyard 2021 is about to get underway. As you look at this beautiful 2.5 mile facility, there is the pagoda. I was there back in May during the greatest spectacle in racing in the Indianapolis 500. I went there on qualifying day, and there is the field assembled, ready to go here. Samuel Dyer, we're about ready to go qualify. These drivers are going to have to do to put down a good lap here around the Brickyard.
Yeah, a lot of the drivers got to figure out how to heat up their tires so they can maximize the amount of grip they're going to have. A lot of the drivers are going to be aiming for that second lap to be the fastest lap for themselves, but with Indy, with how large it is all about building up your momentum here on your warm-up lap as well as lap one and make sure that you have the maximum amount of speed to carry through these corners. And, you know, when you're driving by yourself in these super late models, it's practically full throttle all the way around. You got to just do a little bit of a blip on the entries of these corners, but super late models, there's a lot of power under these machines.
Going to be a fun time watching now Jeffrey Harden make his way in the U.S. Navy colors of the blue and gold, number 44 straightaway. A lot of other cars. I believe we've got a dozen cars. The top 12 in California for super late model racing. This event and these 12 drivers, kind of like an IROC race, if you will, Samuel Dyer, will battle it out here tonight at Indianapolis, and it should be exciting. The best of the best of California virtual super late models in the blue-collar Brickyard.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast to see. And one of the big things we're going to be watching out for has to be the draft, just because of how long the backstretch and the front stretch are for these drivers, as well as coming out of the corner. I was watching back on last year, and a lot of the struggle that the drivers were having is once you got into a longer run, you really started to see the back end kicking out, and the lack of grip was really something prevalent. And also, another factor to watch out for, we are starting in the morning, meaning that the temperatures are going to rise throughout qualifying and throughout even the race.
Yeah, we'll certainly keep an eye on that as well as we watch these drivers work their way around the world's greatest race course here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 57.091, the best lap speed by Jeffrey Harden. And here comes now the driver of Bruce Pearson. We're starting to see some more times being calculated as Bruce Pearson's number 96 machine working his way around the, of course, short chute of the racetrack. If you've never been to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway or you've never seen this track before, it is 2.5 miles long. Honestly, you could fit a golf course of 18 holes. You could fit probably the size of 5 or 6 football stadiums inside there. Baseball stadiums, I believe they said you could fit 12. Of course, they had the BC 39 Classic with USAC the other night in turn number 3 of the Speedway. It is amazing how big this facility truly is. As right now, Allen's is the 42 car. Here comes Bruce Pearson across the line. Will he climb? He will not. 57.619 seconds, under 2 minutes to go in qualifying. But again, 2.5 miles, as now we see the Danville Toyota number 6 of Michael Harden driving the colors of actually a good friend of mine in Layton of Sellers. But you get 2.5 miles. This track has a short chute in between 1 and 2 to 3 and 4. And this track, it's so fast. Indy cars, Cup cars, and now virtual super late models. We're going to have some fun here tonight in the blue-collar Brickyard.
Certainly is, as we're coming up to a minute left in qualifying, and really looking like Michael Harden going to be one of the last drivers to be able to put down a time. We got Thursday side and just stay in pit road. But this 6 machine, we'll see if he's able to try to best himself and best any of the other drivers out here so far. As the 6 comes across the line, that is a great time for himself, up to second on his first lap.
Good run there for that driver up to the second spot, and a way to turn things around here. Vernon, Seneca, and Ledbetter, 3 cars yet to qualify. By the way, real quickly, let's take a look at the Race on Texas 411 race information, bottom left of the monitor, as qualifying is about to commence. Here you see it, 30-minute practice, done. Qualifying is done in 10 seconds. Lap race, which is the equivalent of about 50 miles here around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The weather conditions, you mentioned, 7 time, 67 track temp, 67 virtual ambient temperature. Wind speed 11 to 12 miles an hour. You see the pagoda, a little cloud cover, partly cloudy. Again, it's almost not noon yet. It's not almost lunchtime. It's still morning condition. It'll be fun to watch these guys grid here as we get ready. 100 laps around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Samuel Dyer, they are gridding.
Yeah, they are getting gridded up. You've already done the best you could do for qualifying. We'll see if the track is now going to be liking these drivers, as the track's going to be cool, the tires are going to be cool, and everyone's going to be on their tail and on their toes, trying to figure out how to tiptoe around this course in these first 5 laps. I think that's going to be a good telling sign. Luckily, these drivers do have fast pair to work with here today. If they get into early trouble, the race isn't completely over.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the world's greatest race course in Speedway, Indiana. You see them nestled on the front straightaway. We await the front row, and then we'll give you the Team 126 Racing starting lineup. Of course, they'll be behind the pace car. They'll make one provisional lap, and then when they come back out of turn number 4, they will send them at full song. The super late models here in the 2021 Blue Collar Brickyard here. Starting lineup, look at these beautiful cars. Super late model time at Indy. Richard Allens is on the front row in the number 42. To the outside is Michael Hardin in the number 6 in the Danville Toyota entry. The field begins to roll. Jason Minda will start in row number 2 in the 45. Adam Schoen in the number 65. Row 3 on the grid, Jeffrey Hardin in the 44, Joseph Sagala in the 81. Your first 3 rows here at the Brickyard.
Kenny Gibby going to be going on the inside for the 14 with that of Bruce Pearson going to be on his outside of the 96. And finishing out the last couple of drivers here, you've got that of Bo Ledbetter as well as Rayson Vernon. And finishing out would have been that of Ryan Senker. But looking at the field right now of drivers that are loaded in, we've only got 10 drivers so far.
Understanding that Jeffrey Hardin did not start this race. Jeffrey Hardin unable to start this event. And he is actually now going to be handling race control of this event. Jeffrey Hardin, the promoter of this race, unable to answer the call to make the Blue Collar Brickyard 2021. Well, let's swing around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's 2.5 miles to short shoot. Off of 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 is where they're at right now. As the field is nestled on the front row, Richard Allen and Michael Hardin ready in the west end of the speedway. West end off of turn number 4 through the short shoot. Here they come down the front straightaway at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And the world's greatest race course for virtual racing now prepares for the Blue Collar Brickyard Super Late Models at Indy. They're ready to come to the starting box. The line awaits. The green flag is in the air. We're underway on a Sunday night. Super Late Models in Indianapolis. They roar to speed. It's Allens with the hold shot as they go to turn 1. Samuel Dyer.
And as they're coming through turns number 1, it's all about setting up for turn 2 to make sure you get the maximum amount of speed on the backstretch where you can really start to make a lot of passes. So right now, Michael Hardin's got to find himself to be on the back bumper if possible. But the draft, this is where you could see a lot of speed and passes being made as they're all in line trying to build up the draft, get a toe as they roar into turn 3.
100 laps of distance as they work their way into turn number 3 and 4. 100 laps is 250 miles. You do the math. That's half the distance of the Indianapolis 500, the greatest spectacle in racing every Memorial Day. 100 laps is a lot on super late models, a lot on equipment, virtual or reality. Allens, you ride on board with Jason Minda. He is in third, trying to run down your leaders, Allens and Hardin, as they go into turn 1 to the short shoot.
And you can just hear they have to lift off, get back into the throttle. And when you lift off the throttle, you are getting the loose sensation that you're hoping that you don't lose the rear end to. When you get back on the throttle, that rear end just picks up all the grip, starts to take off. But we're starting to see the 78 now making a pass for third place.
Down the back straight away they go now. Hard the second. Ledbetter is there. To the inside comes Minda. Minda will now size up as they work the short shoot into turn number 3. Inside goes back up the speedway. Showen is there. They'll stay single file as they work their way now to the short shoot end off of the west end out of turn 4. Back to the front straightaway. 3 laps in at Indy.
3 laps in, single file. Starting to see drivers get in line, pick and choose where they want to go. But Ledbetter did not put down a qualifying time and starting to move forward. And it's Bo Ledbetter, fastest lap of the race that last time by with a 55.98. He's coming, and he is going to be pressuring our top 2 quickly.
The Brickyard 21 Classic underway here for the first time on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. The super late models straightaway with Allen still on in front. Hardin is second. Ledbetter is there. They're 1, 2, and 3 by half a second as they go to the west end of the speedway. Off the Samuel.
Gotta be setting up for this turn 4 right now for Ledbetter, and he's right on the back bumper. Gonna be pressuring that of Michael Hardin. Hardin, he's gonna be trying his best, drifts up just slightly, but here comes the 78. Just trying to stay right on the rear quarter panel, trying to do a little bit of side drafting. Gotta be careful, a little bit of a bump gonna be given. Ledbetter to Hardin as they're trying to get up to Allen.
All up under the driver of that number 2 pushing up the racetrack. Here comes Ledbetter. He'll size up that machine of the number 6 that Anvil to the machine under attack as now he's trying to fend 2 spot. Allens is still the leader. Those 3 cars starting to pull away from Minda. Then you got a 3-car breakaway with another pack of Kibbe, Showen, and Vernon. Well, that goes on back straightaway into turn number 3, into the short chute of the west end of the speedway here at the world's most famous race course. They go back into that 3rd turn, into that 4th turn now, fighting the sun, if you will. As you remember, this was early morning into the afternoon conditions at Indianapolis. Off of turn 4, back down the front straightaway as Allen's in this battle now, continuing on the racetrack. Going on, that's the 51 machine of Vernon, Showen, Sagala, trying to run him down as they cross the line back to turn 1.
Grayson Vernon trying to do his best to catch up to that of Kenny Kibbe in front of him in the 14. Right now, the 51 machine just lingering in 6th place and just keeping things calm right now, recognizing, hey, this is a long race. 100 laps at Indy is practically a marathon for most. And these drivers recognize this first stint so important. The battle for 2nd place now underway. Here comes Ledbetter to the inside into turn 3.
Working their way off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. It's Allen's, Ledbetter, Hardin, Minda. Kibbe the top, working lap 5 of 100. Down to the inside comes Ledbetter. He'll try to close in again on Allen's machine. Still a long way to go in this race. This race is 250 miles, 100 laps. It's this super late models at the world's greatest race course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Allen's Hardin there, 1, 2, and 3, like fighting for gold, silver, and bronze in the Olympics at Indy in turn number 2.
Oh, Ledbetter didn't even qualify. He just decided to start back, and he has done a great job currently cutting his way past each and every driver to now set himself in the lead. And right now, for Ledbetter, it's just a pull away. But for the drivers in 2nd and 3rd, that of Allen, Hardin, how are they going to be reacted here? Because we saw Allen try to pull away, use up as much rubber as he could. It could backfire for the 42 the longer the run goes on.
Understanding now that Jeffrey Hardin has now made it into the race, but he is several laps down the number 10 position. I believe the gap now several laps down for him. He's going to have to get some, obviously, some yellow flags to try to get some spots back in the race. But Jeffrey Hardin is on the racetrack in that number 44. There he is, blue and gold entry. U.S. Navy blue and gold entry. Ledbetter, by the way, got around Outlands for the lead. We missed it while we were talking about Hardin. New leader, Ledbetter in turn number 2 on the back straightaway.
I do believe we did see it. We bouncing all over the place with all the drivers and where they're at. Ledbetter is in the lead. Allen and Hardin battling where they're at currently, and seeing who's going to be securing the second place position, because Ledbetter is pulling away each and every lap, it seems like. Oh man, this the 78 team kind of looking like early on the odds-on favorite, even though we didn't even qualify.
Ledbetter, Allens, Hardin, Minda, Kibbe, top 5. There they go. Your top 3 with now Ledbetter, the leader in that number 78 machine, starting to pull away by almost 3/4 of a length of a second back to Allens, who led. Something was in the dogfight as well. The Danville Toyota machine has fell back to 3rd. Popping up now in the top right of the screen in 4th is now Minda's machine. Back in 5th, Racing Vernon. Also, you saw a glimpse of his car. And then you got another pack as a couple of cars almost getting together down the back straight away. Keep an eye on those machines. That was Schoen and Gibby.
And I think right now, Kibbe is in some heavy trouble. Been watching the 14 dropping back, got some right side damage, got into the wall. And with the way that Indy is, aero damage, any type of cosmetic damage is such a detrimental feat to have. But right now, Kibbe trying to get as many grounds back as he has lost this position of 6th place. But he is still holding on, as right now, Schoen looking like that 65 loose, and he is a little bit too quick into that corner, too high. Here comes Kenny Kibbe to the inside.
We want to invite everybody to share this broadcast if you're enjoying it. We certainly hope you are. As we welcome you back to coverage on LSRTV. He is Samuel Dyer. I'm Wesley Outland. Car in the wall! 65, Schoen's car. Bouncing off the concrete in the short end of the speedway. Adam Schoen, but he still continues. No caution flag. Working now 10 laps in at Indy. 90 to go when they come back around next time by in Schoen's car, where he bounced off the wall, Samuel Dyer. It is cattywampus, if you will. Some type of suspension toe-in problem, and his car comes down to the pit lane. First car in the pits to start this race in the blue-collar Brickyard of 2021. 65, Adam Schoen.
Yeah, there's something wrong with that 65. He came in extremely quick. He's also going to have a speeding penalty on top of whatever service the 65's going for. Most likely feeling like he has to get some type of damage repair done. But for the 65 of Adam Schoen, it's not a normal pit stop these drivers going to be having. These pit stops are not going to be around 14, to 13 seconds like a NASCAR Cup car would be. With these super late models, it can take over 20 to 25 seconds just to get a 4-tire stop and get full of fuel. We'll have to wait and see how long Schoen's in pit road as he goes a lap down.
Yeah, that's the first car that is going a lap down, by the way. I mentioned Jeffrey Hardin's car, and he was able to join the race, but he's several seconds back. And now he's actually up to 9th position. As we'll look at I'm going to update time and scoring here and look at the interval gap. As right now, Adam Schoen is showed 1 lap down, as he is still in the pits, as you mentioned, possibly a speeding penalty entering onto the pit lane. And Hardin now, he's on the lead lap. We must have just overlooked him coming on the racetrack, but he is still in this thing. Caution comes out. He's in business. They're all broke away. The first 4 cars are right there nestled. Well, probably the top 3, but now we're starting to see a breakaway, if you will, Samuel Dyer, for the first time today at Indianapolis on lap number 12 of 100 with 88 laps to go. Allens is now 2 seconds back, 3.5 seconds back, 9 seconds back, which is 6 seconds back to Hardin. 9 seconds back to the leader is Minda, and then you've got 13 seconds of Vernon in the top 5 of Racing Vernon, and we got a little bit of breakaway here, and of course we don't want to break away, get these cars bunched back together. We thought we'd have a caution where we saw Schoen bounced off the wall, but no yellow, and this race continues for 12 at Indianapolis.
Yeah, and an update on that Jeffrey Harden, he missed out on the starting grid. He did not get in time to be on the starting grid, but he was still at his rig, so he was able to just have to start on pit road, but was able to get going. And right now, going to be running in 9th position, but looking like Schoen might be calling it a day for the 65. He has parked it, put it behind the garage. Adam Schoen, first DNF.
Yeah, tough break there. You saw him bounce off the wall on the back straightaway. Adam Schoen able to not recover from that as he is the first DNF of the race here in the Blue Collie 21. Super late models on the greatest race course in the world, even if it's virtual, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 87. Your saw blade, top 5, top left of the monitor down. There you see him as Ledbetter is the man leading over Allens, Hardin, Minda, and Vernon. Back from Indianapolis, if a caution comes out, we'll break in Sunday night. Super late models, Indy. What could be better on LSRTV?
Hey, it's Wesley Outland, the face with the voice of the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League that you hear simulcasted on the Community Radio Network. And that's what we want to tell you about. We are excited to continue the partnership of covering esports on CRN, just like we do with all the other broadcasts that I cover in real life, like MAV TV, Short Track America, Speed 51 TV, Fox Sports Radio for college, high school sports. The Community Radio Network does the same thing. In addition to broadcasting real athletics, we're excited to be the radio voice of LSRTV's coverage of the Northwest Cup and Truck Series presented by Tom Denchel Automotive Group, the American iRacing League, and special events along the way. It's very simple. On your web browser, laptop, tablet, or cell phone, go to wearecrn.com, click on play, and you are able to keep up with the action. It's very simple. The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Check us out when you can. Esports coverage from LSRTV on CRN, the Community Radio Network, wearecrn.com.
Still no change in things here at Indianapolis. Welcome back, 15 in of 185 laps, 21. Blue Collar Brickyard this year on LSR TV. And the leader, some battles going on, getting hot and heavy. Sagala, Hardin, and Pearson going on in the corner.
Yeah, right now the battle for 7th is what we're seeing on screen. Closest battle on track. Everyone else pretty spread out, but watching Hardin slowly chip his way forward after starting on pit road. I mean, this 44 showing some speed for himself. But, man, it is a tall task, and I think for a lot of these drivers, hoping for a caution. But, Wesley, there is no comp caution. If there's an on-track incident that brings out a yellow, that's the only time we're going to be seeing that Banana Republic.
And again, by the way, angle, and the yellow flag is out. Trouble. Caution is out. Got a car in the wall. Was that the 81 machine or the Racing Vernon, who had a top 5 run? Racing Vernon is in the wall. Caution is out for the first time tonight at Indy. And a potent on the horizon. Watch the 51, Samuel. We'll see what happened to Vernon.
I talk about a caution, and then it comes immediately. I'm so sorry for jinxing it, but Vernon just loose sliding and up into the wall, and just, I mean, that was all through the center for turn 1 into turn 2.
He got into the east end of the speedway. He lost it coming off the corner going to 1, and then he got up in the marbles, if you will. The Angels expressed him to lose it at full speed down the front straightaway. You're riding on board with Racing Vernon. And he got up in the top shelf, and then the car came around, and he's got heavy damage on the right side. Take a listen. Samuel, that could have been a lot worse than it turned out to be. It stayed on the top of the rest. More damage on a single car accident on the right front than anything, and it just started because he oversteered the car.
Yeah, and, also a little bit of help once he touched the apron and got a little bit of the rumble strip. It popped him up a little bit more than he was expecting, sent him up into the wall, and it just constantly, it was trying to save it, was racing Vernon, but just could not hold on as everyone into pit road.
Everybody is coming down to the pit lane. You are exactly right. And we figured that they would. The whole cavalry, but led by Bo Ledbetter and everyone else coming down to the pit lane. And you want to remember, you can't make mistakes. And Samuel, this is not like NASCAR pit stops where you can come in, be out in less than 12 seconds. These are super late model cars. It takes more to change, add the fuel, make adjustments just like you see at short tracks across America.
Yeah, instead of having a six-man team to make all those changes, you got a little bit of less than that to work with, as you're seeing some drivers getting out of Ledbetter going to be the first car out of pit road, getting service done. And yeah, we were so used to, the Cup cars, trucks, as well as the Xfinity, where it's anywhere from, 13 to 14, sometimes even 15 seconds. 21 was the quickest for Ledbetter. Everyone else around 24 to 25 seconds on their pit stop.
So Bo Ledbetter is the first man out of the pit lane. Lap 18 of 100 in the second annual Blue Collar Brickyard. And by the way, this is the second edition. Was won by Samuel Fontaine. Adam Gebel was second, and Joe Sagala finished in third. This race is pretty difficult. You take a legendary Saturday night short track car like a super late model and you race it on one of the world's most iconic, world's greatest race course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It takes skill and knowledge with the race car and the track. Turning one lap requires focus and endurance, or the wall will punch you in the face and take your lunch money. Those that excel tonight have done so because of their talent, knowledge, and ability to get the job done the blue collar way. And again, right now, we welcome you to our coverages. This is this caution flag period also gives us the opportunity to let you know why we are doing this race, what it's about, what it's for. It's not just, running around Indianapolis with a grassroots weekend short track car. It's all about it's all about, It's all about also autism, getting the word out about what autism awareness is. This race was created to help out Kids Edition and the Spectrum Carbon, and we want to give you a whole bunch of more information on that. But the Spectra form took the DIY race pit to new heights through meticulous design and precision engineering. Thank you for them sponsoring this event. We'll have a lot more information on it, more details. And again, Samuel Dyer, they're going for a trophy that is known as the Parker Cup. And the Parker Cup is their old nephew with autism, Parker Allen Hardin. And Parker loves cars more than anyone. And it doesn't matter what kind of car they are. He knows all about them, whether NASCAR, IndyCar, drag racing, his energy and passion for cars. And the trophy, the Parker Cup, is named after Parker to honor his youthful energy, his infectious passion to racing, and to bring a little more awareness to many about children that are born with autism. And that is a lot of the reasons why we're back coming to the green flag here, underway with Bo Ledbetter, bringing him back to green, and to spread awareness, Samuel Dyer, about kids. And that's what this special race, this all-star race, is about as we go back to green with 80 laps to go in Indianapolis.
Yeah, it's for a good cause, and great racing is what we're here for as we're watching that of Allen. Also, Mineta going to be really challenging one another, and certainly side-by-side action for the 42. And also, we're starting to see Racing Vernon making a late charge here, as he was part of the reason why we had our first yellow of the day, but he's up in our top 5.
80 laps to go, 30 laps out in front. Ledbetter, Allens, Vernon, 1, 2, and 3. Remember Vernon? Remember racing? He got in the wall. He's redeemed himself. He's right back in the hunt of things. He's in third, trying to get around Allens for second into turn 1 on the west end of the speedway. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, having a very quick pit stop was that of Racing Vernon, and that's what's put him, even with having the contact that he had with the wall, getting into an incident, having the heavy damage. We're now seeing other drivers further back in a little bit of a scrappy selves as holding on. That was the 81 that was all the way in the back of the pack. But, man, right now, pit road seemed to be one of the biggest gains for a lot of the drivers on where they're at right now, because Michael Harden, he was battling in our top 3, finds himself back in 5th.
And remember, for this race, it's 100 laps, 1 fast repair, unlimited tires, 2-lap qualifying, 1 green-white checker attempt will be made. Samuel, I'm going to let you take over. I'll be right back, bud. Stand by.
As right now, watching the drivers in the middle of the pack as we're on board with that of Jason Mendo's going to be in 4th position, but being challenged. Here comes that of Michael Harden on the inside for the 6. Going to be making the pass. Up, moving another position. And also in the purple, Bo Ledbetter once again putting down a faster lap time as we're on board with the 45 machine. Just getting a sense of what the draft's like. Getting in the toe into turn number 3. And you can see on those right side that 1, 2, 3, the braking markers giving show as Michael Harden once again moving up another position as it's Racing Vernon stuck on the high line. And that's going to be given an opportunity here as you see the 45 on the inside trying to make a pass. Not able to. It's going to be all the runs on the front stretch as we're heading into the straightaway. 22 laps into this race. Right now, it's Bo Ledbetter with that of Richard Allen, Michael Harden, Racing Vernon. Also the 45, Jason Meta, going to be joining the fray as we're watching these drivers here as it is the Blue Collar Brickyard event. Thank you to everyone joining us here on LSRTV. We'll be watching the 2nd annual of the Blue Collar Brickyard. It has been a pleasure being able to cover this race. 23 laps into this thing out of 100, and it's been all Bo Ledbetter as we're watching the battle that's going on for 4th position. Racing Vernon up 6 positions, but about to lose one of them. Possibly here, but you're seeing the drivers shimmying and shaking, coming out of the corner. When you get back on the throttle, it can get your car irritated, a little loose, or you're going to start making moves like that as Racing Vernon shoots his way into pit road. He's going into pit road, but I don't think he planned on going there. But that is going to be a speeding penalty for sure. Black flag given to the 51 as he is not even in his pit stop. He is parking it, taking the toe to pit road to move back up to Bo Ledbetter. A very shocking end to that of the 51's race as got loose, felt like, you know what, we're just going to call it a day as you're seeing still drivers out of the corner. It's on the back, the red and white machine of Michael Harden doing his best trying to catch up. But these drivers back here, this is the battle currently from 5th on back. The Hornet's Nest on the field. It's going to be Kenny Kibbe making the pass on that of Jeffrey Harden. Big thanks to Jeffrey Harden getting this whole entire event made and possible as we are here again for the Blue Collar Brickyard. As right now it's Kenny Kibbe trying to hold off in 6th position, in 5th position, holding off that of Jeffrey Harden. You've also got that of Bruce Pearson going to be behind in 7th. All the drivers in line here in Indianapolis, and no, there's a couple of reasons why it's called the Brickyard. Originally made with a bunch of bricks were placed onto this course, and you've got the start-finish line of bricks. But this course, it's a rectangle, practically looks like a brick. Every corner, 9 degrees of banking. But man, you can just see on the back bumper of the 96 Pearson, just see how these cars are just made. The super late models The setup was a fixed setup. All the drivers using the same one. And you can just see on that left side how it's so close to being just dragging on the racing surface. But here comes the 81. Joseph Saliga going to be making the move. Sagala going to be making the pass possibly here, but you're going to be seeing the 96 on the outside. He's got the tow from the drivers that are all in line. Well, the 81 in the more preferred lane coming into turn number 1. Going to be trying to make the pass 26 laps into this race. As these drivers slipping and slide into the wall. Going to be that of Jeffrey Harden in the 44. Scrubbing himself and getting some aero damage there, but should be all right moving forward. You don't want to be making too many hits like that, or your race could be coming to a close. We're watching all the drivers on the backstretch. You see the brake markers on the fence. Giving the drivers a shot here, but man, all in line. Closest racing action is from 5th back to that of 8th position. Still in the lead, going to be that of Bo Ledbetter as we're watching on board of the 44, Jeffrey Harden, who has just brushed the wall. We're going to see if he's going to be making a similar incident here as the 44 on the front stretch. Doesn't look like that right side damage from brushing the wall was too bad, but still our top 5, practically the complete same as they were. As Wesley, this field, certainly they are putting on a show for now, but it's the drivers that are in the back keeping it close and making it pretty racy.
Yeah, just had to step away for a few moments and do a reset. I've been wide open for the last 3 days doing football and racing broadcasts, and honestly, whenever I got in last night, I didn't cut my laptop off and all my equipment and just left everything on, and maybe it was kind of running a little bit slow, and I want to put together a great caliber broadcast for everybody on LSRTV, so I just kind of let the rabbit jumped off the hamster wheel and reset everything and get it back going again, and hopefully that does do the trick, as we have got a lot of sideways racing going on. Tough break there for Seneca pulling in. We've got Vernon racing. Vernon on the pit lane. Showing is out of the race, and Ledbetter is doing a phenomenal job. Still the man out in front leading the way. And look out! Sagala going down below the bottom of the short chute. Spins it. No caution yet.
Because the 81 was off the racing surface, there is no yellow going to be thrown. You have to be on the racing surface, spun around. So we're going to see that of Sagala going to have to work his way moving forward, or hope that someone else is going to be bringing out a yellow.
What a tough break for Sagala. He is of all the drivers on the list, he had himself a top 3 podium here. Joseph Sagala last year in the 81, and Sagala able to continue, and you want to say he wanted a caution flag after that, Samuel, but again, not in the racing groove, so they would not throw a caution. So, man, now he's going to have to thrash and hope that another yellow flag comes out with still 70 laps to go. That's the thing. We're 70 laps to go in this race.
Yeah, there's still a lot of racing to be seen here tonight, as we're still just chipping away. We're past a quarter marker, but we're now trying to aim towards the halfway, and drivers, certainly if we can stay green, drivers are aiming around lap 47 to 50 when they're going to be thinking about pit road. Still a lot of time to be utilized, but for that of Sagala, that spin and slide he had, it was for so long, and he was holding the brake for a while there. That is burning up rubber. This 81's going to have a long night trying to rebound from that slide.
There's Mendo's car, number 45. You've been watching him now work his way down the front straightaway past the yard of bricks into turn number 1 to the short chute on the east end of the speedway. Looked like he was kind of fighting that car, if you will, off the corner of the exit just a moment ago. Off the short chute to turn number 2. Down the back straightaway. You're on board with him up top shelf. And, of course, all aerial coverage is presented by All American Pools. And man, the greatest race course in the world, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There you see these drivers working their way around to the third turn, to the west end of the speedway, around the short chute, into the corner number 4 right now, and then back down the front straightaway to the pagoda at speed. The 45, Minda, currently in the number 4 position. And you were able to watch him a lap and a half, Samuel, around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He is currently 12 seconds back to the leader of Bo Ledbetter.
Yeah, and right now Ledbetter is just pulling away. He is in his own zip code. Looking at some of his previous laps that he has been putting down, he's been anywhere from 0.3 to a half a second faster than the driver in second place, that of Richard Allen. So this 78, he's up 8 positions from where he started back in 9th position. The highest starter of the drivers that did not qualify or put down a qualifying time. But man, Bo Ledbetter, he is on a different level currently. And with over 5 seconds, he continues to just pull away each and every lap.
Last lap speed being turned. Show it on the screen right now. 56.410 seconds. Allens is there as well. That's 1 and 2. Hardin for third. Minda and Kibbe. There's all the last lap that was turned around the racetrack just a moment ago. As we still keep an eye, we still keep an eye on that number 78 machine of Bo Ledbetter. Bo Ledbetter, a performance here at Indy, staying out in front. His Ford looking strong.
As we drop back,
everybody for the moment now.
Second.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Samuel, you know, this is right now a very unique situation as you're just seeing sheer domination by Ledbetter. You got to wonder, I will say, how about Hardin, though? Can we mention Hardin? Jeffrey Hardin is up to third in the number 6 car. The other Hardin, you have Michael Hardin, into third. You have Jeffrey Hardin in 6th. So the Hardin boys are doing good. 3rd and 6th place right now. We are awaiting, I believe, green flag pit stops unless we get another yellow flag. And then I believe, Samuel, if that happens, the entire cavalry will be coming down. There's still a long way to go here in the 2021 Blue Collar Brickyard here in Indianapolis.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the fact that there are unlimited tire sets. These drivers, even after running 2 to 3 green flag laps, you're thinking about coming in pit road to get another set of tires just because you're wanting as much grip as possible. We've been seeing almost every driver slipping and sliding at some point through these corners, and it's a lot of the sliding coming out of turns 2 and 4. But you're also seeing a lot of sliding when you come on the entries of 1 and 3 because of how much speed you're coming into these corners with. You got to figure out a woe down, and it usually is just cranking these cars sideways just to make the turn, and it's also sliding and burning off more of that rubber.
We're keeping an eye on it right here as this racing continues. As Ledbetter doing a phenomenal job right now.
I mean, looking at last season, this is looking pretty similar to how last season's race went. I mean, with the way that Samuel Fantastic won that race, he just dominated it. If the race had gone green for the first annual Blue Collar Brickyard race, we would have seen Samuel absolutely dominate and would have lapped the whole entire field. Here tonight, with it being a fixed setup, gives the drivers a little bit of racing closer, but we're starting to see the different levels of drivers here this evening, of that of Bo Ledbetter pulling away from everyone in the field. And those in the middle of the pack just racing the track at this point. It's not really racing the drivers that they're around. It's more of focusing on yourself, having a consistent run, as we're on board with Kenny Kibbe running in 5th position for the 14. I mean, Wesley, it's more of just stay patient until those green flag pit stops around lap 47 to 52.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, we're still, we're still a long way to go here, honestly, as we've already been talking about. You just have to stay and be patient, if you will, as you click these laps off one by one. You look at Jeffrey Harden, the U.S. Navy car. He's still got a shot. Thank you. He's got a shot to try to still be in this thing. We're still going to see a cycle of green flag pit stops. This race, long from over, Samuel. I mean, long from over. It's not done yet. Not done yet.
Yeah, we're not even at halfway, so we still got plenty of racing to go, and the potential of wrecks happening, as we've already lost 2 drivers, that of Racing Vernon as well as Adam Shonen, and losing 2 drivers. We're now left with just 9 on track, 9 that are on the lead lap, as we're watching the battle for 6, currently the best battle on track.
Yeah, we're certainly watching them again as they work their way. You want a caution flag. I'm not going to lie to you, Samuel. You want a yellow flag. We thought we were going to get it a couple of times, and we didn't. We don't want the field to just become completely spread out where it's I mean this with no disrespect, a snooze fest. So hopefully by the time we get these guys coming out here, maybe we'll get a flag. Maybe we'll get the green flag pit stops will bring everybody down at the same time. Hopefully they take that mentality, Samuel. Hopefully when everybody gets the opportunity to come down to the pit lane, they all take advantage of coming down to the pit lane, and that gets everybody bunched up together. Because if they don't, you're going to have more widespread separation of the entire field around the racetrack. And we want to have an exciting finish here for this second race for the Parker Cup and the blue-collar Brickyard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're right now watching the battle for 6th place, and you're seeing the 44 and the 96 dueling it out, seeing how the draft is helping the 96, as well as who can keep their momentum through these corners. Each corner, 9 degrees of banking, but honestly, when you talk to the drivers, each one of these corners feels so different from the other, and it's always a challenge to see the 96 going too wide. He's got to slow down and lose all that momentum at such a key point on the racetrack.
Ledbetter, Allens, Harden, Minda, Kibbe, the top 5 as it stands right now. As Pearson trying to run down Jeffrey Harden. That actually, be honest with you, Samuel, is the best battle on the racetrack. We're not going to mince words here. That's the best battle right now. Everyone else is just kind of lying in the weeds, being patient as it stands.
Yeah. This is the closest battle. It's a half a second, but then you look at the next closest. Next closest battle is that of Menda and Kenny Kibbe, which is almost 4.5 seconds is the difference. That is that's one of the closer ones. Or you also could talk about the battle for second. That's 5 seconds difference. Everyone's practically in their own just time zone, having fun, just vibing out on the track, running, focusing on their own laps. But yeah, this is one of those races where you're just not sure if something, maybe lap traffic, if that becomes a factor, maybe that could spice things up. But right now, it is everyone just spacing out practically perfectly to where there's no one close enough to utilize the draft behind you or in front of you.
Yeah, that's right. We're 60 laps to go this time by, with Ledbetter still leading the way. We're coming up on halfway. We're about to be 125 miles into this race in 10 more laps. So this race again is 100 laps, 250 miles. Super late models around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And it started, Samuel, pretty exciting, and now they're all just catty. They're all over the place. We've got the interval from first to ninth, from 8 seconds to 50 seconds.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
I'm ready to throw my headset virtually on the racetrack and bring out a caution.
Throw some debris out there, see what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
but,
we need a caution. I'm not gonna lie to you. We need a caution.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those races where
throw the water bottle on the racetrack or something.
It's in those like first, lap to 3 laps where it's going to be the closest racing action, and then it just you kind of figure out where you're going to lie and you spread out from there. I mean, the cream of the crop is going to lie up on the up ahead, and they're going to do everything in their power to do the best that they can. And right now, where drivers are running, I mean, we're soon to be seeing that 81 go a lap down, and that might be the next closest battle besides what's going on track of the battle that's for 6.
41 of 100. 60 laps to go now. Now make it 59 laps to go. Here at the world's greatest race course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Coverage on LSRTV, the blue collar Brickyard of 2021, the race for the Parker Cup to give more awareness on autism. Saw Blade top 5. They're all nestled separately. We await green flag pit stops. We'll take a break. Something goes wrong, we'll break in. We doubt it, though. Back with more on LSR TV.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSR TV. Of course, remember, you can watch it and then you can listen to it on CRN, the community radio network at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
No change in anything since we came to commercial break. Welcome back to coverage. LSR TV, the second annual Blue Collar Brickyard. Wesley Outland, Samuel Dyer alongside Charles Wooten in the production chair. And this is brought to you by LSR TV and Rocket Media with Jeff Stab now. Well, Samuel, it's been all Bo Ledbetter leading the way. And we're not even in the second half of this race yet.
Yeah, we're not to the second half just yet, and Ledbetter's been the most dominant car for sure, as he's over 13 seconds ahead of everyone else, and he just continues to pull away. But we do have pit road and pit stops lurking around as we're coming closer and closer. We're expecting to have pit stops here in the next 10 laps in this range, so drivers certainly are trying to mentally prepare for that. When do they want to pit? Do they want to stretch it out as far as they can go? Or do we see any of the drivers that are close, quote unquote, close to one another, try to undercut to try to gain any time? Because based on drivers' their best time compared to their last time, it's anywhere from a second to about a second and a half off.
So my question is this. Green flag pit stops, we know they're going to happen. We're 55 laps to go now, but they cross the Yard of Bricks here with Bo Ledbetter. We know they're going to happen. So the question is, Samuel, does everybody take my advice and come down to the pit lane altogether? Or does everybody do their own thing and continue to keep everybody in social distancing like we're seeing right now on the racetrack?
Well, I think if we want to see anyone get closer to each other, there's got to be people on different strategies. I mean, you got to try something different if you want to try to catch up to the drivers in front of you. Otherwise, you're just going to be losing ground, as we're starting to see drivers thinking about when they want to come into pit road. Because my numbers were anywhere from lap 47 to 53 was my range that I was expecting drivers thinking about coming into pit road. So we'll see when they're going to be coming in for sure. But I think all coming together, that's just going to keep everyone spread out the way that they are, except for this battle that's going on right now for 6th place that's been lingering through all of this. Everyone's spacing out with one another.
Wow, Hardin trying to come after the 96 of Pearson. This has been brewing several times, and now it's finally just tried to climax, if you will, as Hardin trying to get around Pearson for that spot. He's getting a little impatient, if you will. We're 3-4 laps to halfway here in the blue-collar Brickyard. Hardin inside, outside, throwing the block is Pearson. Cross the yard of bricks, back to turn number 1. And that battle, Samuel, the best one on the racetrack in turn 1 and 2 to the east end of the speedway through the short chute.
Yeah, this is one of the only battles that is on track. Everyone else, anywhere from 3 to 10, sometimes even 16 seconds is the in-between. As this battle still lingers on the backstretch right now, it's all on really Jeffrey Hardin to get a good run out of the corner. If he can run solid, get that center off the corner, and just be better than what we've been seeing from the 96, 44's got a shot for sure to try to make this pass, but you can just see it struggling as pit stops underway.
Yeah, green flag pit stops, and it's your leader, and here comes many cars taking my advice and trying to be within each other. Allens is in 42, Hardin in 6. Bo Ledbetter already out of the pits in the 78, right before halfway. Pearson is in, Hardin is in. All these cars coming to the pit lane. Hardin coming in, Seneker coming in. So they took my advice, Samuel. They all pitted when everyone else pitted.
Yeah, all trying to stick together as a whole group, and they all came in around 30 laps after their last pit stop. So that's going to be putting these drivers inside of a window of one more pit stop to finish out this race. If we stay green, that is, as that is going to be around lap 70, the next pit stop for these drivers.
So understanding that the new leader he is not pitted yet, though. Minda just came to the pit lane, by the way. Kenny Kibbe now the new leader, as it will cycle back around to Bo Ledbetter whenever this is all done. Minda is on the pit lane in the 45 car. Jason Minda, Joseph Sagala, Ryan Seneker also pitting. So those guys a lap out of sequence, but they are finally coming to the pits. And here comes Kenny Kibbe onto the pit lane. He will pit in the 14 car now. And Samuel, this will cycle back around for Bo Ledbetter to come back out again as the leader in the 78 car right about now.
And also going to be putting the 96 a lap down. And the next driver on the list for that of Ledbetter going to be that of Jeffrey Hardin, who is going to be only having about 5 seconds. 4 to 5 seconds is the difference between Jeffrey Hardin and also Bo Ledbetter. And looking at some of the drivers and pit stops that they had, it's going to be still in pit road because of how long it takes to get out. I think that of Ryan, I believe Ryan in the 19, he had himself possibly caught with a speeding penalty into pit road, or he might have had damage, extended time on pit road, but is back on track as the 19.
Ledbetter, Allens, Hardin. We are coming up on halfway. And what a performance by Ledbetter, the leader, trying to put more cars a lap down. As he is after the 45 of Minda. And that's actually Minda and Kibbe battling for position, who led earlier, the 14. There he is. So this is actually a battle for 4th and 5th, if you will. The leader is Ledbetter. As we show this battle cross the line, there is Ledbetter now. And Samuel almost 20 seconds. 20 seconds about to lap Jeffrey Harden, the 6th place car, to put 5 cars on the lead lap here at Indianapolis with 49 laps to go.
Yeah, I mean, if this race stays green, the question has to be, will Bo Ledbetter lap the whole field? Because under that 30-lap run, about 35 laps, found himself getting over 20 seconds over that of Richard Allen. So it's still possible. If Ledbetter going to be putting down Jeremy Harden a lap down, only 5 left on the lead lap. But Wesley, I think that has to be the biggest question at this point. Will Ledbetter lap the whole entire field?
We're after halfway. Let's give you your full field rundown here in the 2nd annual running for the Cup in the Blue Collar Brickyard 2021 on LSRTV. Bo Ledbetter is leading, Richard Allen in 2nd. Michael Harden is 3rd. Joe Minda is 4th. Kenny Kibbe is the top 5. Jeffrey Harden currently, Samuel Dyer in 6th position. Those cars on the lead lap.
And then going to be at 5th is Bruce, that of Person, as well as that of Joseph Zagala, and also Ryan Seneca are going to be in 9th place. And those are your 9 drivers that are still on track racing, as Racing Vernon and Adam Shonen, they were not able to finish out this race. They were out of this race much earlier than expected. We're past halfway, and it's still Bo Ledbetter just dominating. It went from just in these last 2 to 3 laps, Ledbetter is pulled away by 2 seconds over Allen.
So you have 4 cars a lap down from 6th to 9th. 30 laps down, Racing Vernon out. 44 laps down, Adam Schoen out. And of course, now 46 laps to go. Next time by, 47 remaining. And Bo Ledbetter picking them up and putting them down one by one. As now he is going after Seneca to put him 2 laps down in the number 19 car.
The only person that could beat Bo Ledbetter is a lap car taking him out. That is the only way that this 78 doesn't win.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this. I was thinking that it was going to be really exciting, fun. You know, not taking anything away, but I mean, I was thinking it was going to be bunched up and tight pack racing, and these guys really going after it. And instead, it's become if you will, a road course endurance race, if you will. Just seeing who can survive. And right now, we see it's the 78 Ford of Bo Ledbetter continuing to just sheerly dominate here.
Yeah, I think that was the mentality, though, at the start. I mean, last year it was an open setup event, so drivers were able to come in, bring in setups that they wanted to test out, and they wanted to keep everyone close, and so they switched it for this evening's race, was for it to transition from an open setup before to now a fixed setup. So everyone that's out on track is on the same exact setup. It's just driving skill at this point that's on the reason why we're seeing drivers running where they're at. And for that of Ledbetter, he is certainly just putting on a show out here as we're watching the best battle on track, the battle for 4th. As it's going to be that of Jason Mehta and Kenny Kibbe still racing with one another, keeping it close. And, you know, the advantage should be going to Kenny Kibbe with having a lap fresher tires than that of Mehta, but you really never know how these races are going to go, especially when You're almost coming up to 10 laps into a run at a 2.5-mile course like Indianapolis. That tire wear can just kick in just 3 to 5 laps. If you've been very harsh, your long run speed could be just diminished in a second.
Well, there's the 45 of Minda. Yeah, I'm trying to monitor the Oxford 250, trying to keep up with that because I have to write a story. Minda, right now in the 45 car, he's currently in the 4th position. And the 14 is coming. That's the best battle we've been mentioning. By the way, in the Oxford 250, in case you're wondering, it is a 3-car battle between Cassius Clark, Derek Griffith, and Johnny Clark with 65 laps to go in the first super late model crown jewel of pavement racing, the Oxford 250 in Oxford, Maine. Definitely a lot more exciting than what we got going on here right now at Indianapolis with sheer domination by Bo Ledbetter, for sure. 3 cars fighting for the lead, a good one. As there's the 45 of Minda trying to hold off Kenny Kibbe, who led some laps earlier during the sequence of green flag pit stops, if you will, Samuel. And we've got 42 laps to go next time by.
Yeah, I mean, we're past halfway.
And it's the Ledbetter show.
Closer and closer. It really is. I mean, I think the best part for Ledbetter was probably when he was cutting his way through the traffic earlier on in this race. I mean, he started back in 9th place, but he's into pit road. Coming in is Ledbetter, and this is an unscheduled stop for the 78.
I wonder if this is the money stop.
No, he just parked it. He took. Well, now it's interesting.
We got cars that are coming in.
Everyone's
Ledbetter
pulling in.
Had dominated the
Are
race.
They calling it a race? This is very odd because the timing we were looking at was around lap 70 for the moment when they needed to come into pit road. This is very odd. Ledbetter just took a tow for himself into pit road.
Everybody's leaving. Everybody's leaving.
Our front 3 went into pit road. Everyone else is still out there. Well, we went from... That is bizarre.
What in the world?
We are now down to... Well, it's now to 45 in the lead. And Kenny Kibbe in second. What?
Minda in now Kibbe fighting for the lead, and you know, Samuel, I'm wondering if it might have been a server crash. Do you remember like what we had a while back?
No, this wasn't a server crash because the server crash, the drivers were racing on track and they just got pulled out. This was more of a drivers just saying, hey, we're the top 3. We're pulling off the track. You guys have fun with it. Since this is the closest battling that's on track, let's see what the closest guys are going to do to finish out this race.
So did Bo Ledbetter just throw the race?
Our whole entire top 3 just left. We're down to just 6 cars on track currently.
And now Jason Minda is the leader. What a strange turn of events, as the drivers that were in the top 3 of Ledbetter, Allens, and Hardin all said see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. And now a battle for the lead between Minda and Kibbe. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do.
No, I don't think you or I've
just
ever
happy
seen
to be
this
here.
ever happen. This has never happened before, where just the top 3 just said, you know what, you know, we're super spread out. No one was really going to touch us. We're just going to pull it into pit road, and boom.
Still trying to figure out what is going on here.
I mean, it had to be an agreement of the top three just to pull in, because they all came in at the same time, and I believe they're all out of the server. I mean, this is just such an odd just circumstance where we're left with just 6 drivers out on track. But I mean, at least Wesley, I guess we could say the battle for the lead, closest battle on track.
I have a battle for the lead now. I mean, you know, there's some, you know, spark upon the horizon.
Yeah, we're about 15 laps away from pit stops once again, and we'll see if anyone else.
And those will be the money stop.
Yeah, that will be the money stop for sure.
I mean, what happened? I mean, Bo Ledbetter was just gonna run away with this thing.
That's what I'm wondering.
Did they find
if there
something
was
illegal with
agreement.
the car? Do you think they might have had something going on with I mean, were cars supposed to drop off at the end of this at halfway? I mean, I didn't read anything like that in my script, but I mean, was there a change? Was it supposed to be process of elimination and only 6 cars fight it out for the win? I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, if that's the case, if we were doing with that type of a style of, okay, if you're in the top, you know, 2 to 3, you're so far out at this time, you got to leave the session, we'll give you a prize, good on you. But if you're going to do that, you might as well bring out a yellow to close up the other 6 drivers, let them have a shot to at least race it out as, oh no, Kenny Kibbe into the wall.
Yeah, he's all right. They ain't going to throw no caution.
Yeah, I'm just trying, man.
I admire your efforts. I really do.
we're out here. We're just here to have a good time. It just doesn't make sense.
I'm
confused.
confused.
There's also
I can't.
I mean, this whole entire week on LSRTV is going to be a bunch of it doesn't make sense. I mean, we got Talladega both for the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, and so that's going to be setting up our playoffs. We'll see who can make it and who can't make it into the playoffs. Then also S&B Cup Series on Wednesday. Also got to figure out who's going to be finding themselves into the next round in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I'm disappointed, Samuel. You got to cover that for me. I think Chris White might be covering that race with you or someone else, but unfortunately I have announcer obligations for Wednesday night, and during that time frame, I will not be able to join you for the S&P Cup Series event. So
are you doing more soccer?
No, I'm actually doing we actually have a triple header on Wednesday on CRN. We have soccer, we have volleyball, but as the radio voice of the Comets, I have to do football. So I have a football game, and I literally have tonight with you, iRacing tomorrow night as well for the Northwest Cup Series. Then Tuesday I have meetings. Wednesday, Finish Line on Fox Sports Radio. And then I have a JV football game, then the iRacing event at Talladega for the Northwest Trucks with you, and LSRTV. Then Thursday, football, drive all the way to West Virginia, and then working the Hillbilly 100, and then the ARCA race at DeQueen, Illinois, and then back on Monday and thank goodness we're off on Monday for Labor Day. Monday, another announcing obligation. At Caraway Speedway for the Labor Day Monday celebration. So, yeah, got a crazy schedule. Busy 6-7 days. I'm surprised I can still talk.
It is a constant go for you.
Oh, yeah, Wednesday, you're going to get major upgrades. Find more details coming soon.
Coming soon. LSRTV might post on Facebook what the new upgrades are. We'll find out. We could tell
Find
you
more
now,
hater
but that would be spoiling the show.
Yeah, we can't do that. Hey, producer, hey, Charles, is there a way where you can bring us on camera with the race going on down below? Can you do that? Since this has just become a snooze fest, if you will. I was really looking forward to doing the blue collar Brickyard, but I didn't know if there's a way you can. Yeah, we'll get to work on it. That's some of our new things coming soon.
Yeah, get it.
Well, so much of that. I'll cut my camera off now, Charles. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, the battle for the lead. Here comes
Oh, wow,
Kenny
we do
Kimmy
got a battle for the
inside.
lead. Look at this. Battle for the lead. On the inside comes the 14. Kenny. Oh, he's in the wall. 45 in the wall. Minda, Kibbe fighting for the lead, and he's in the wall, and he just get it right back to Kenny Kibbe in the 14 car. By the way, there is 33 laps to go, 32 when they come back around at the Brickyard out of turn number 4.
And for our leaders, they are in a spot where they can pick, around lap 71 to 77. You're in the window. If you want to stretch the fuel out as far as you can go, 77 is the lap that we're looking at to possibly 79 for that of Kenny Kibbe. But for that of Menda, he's got to be thinking about possibly maybe undercutting, trying to get a little bit of advantage over the 14, try to build up a gap, potentially try to win this race.
So we're getting reports of what now, producer? Oh. I got you. Well, we are having unofficial reports that some type of a server issue or something caused these guys to back out and leave. So,
or you could say they.
Well, I'm under. Okay, all right. I was trying to be honest. I try to be an honest person, so I'm going to be honest without telling a lie. Hashtag not fake news. I'm understanding that they were committed to another iRacing obligation, and they left the race server to go run something else. That's what we're being told, Samuel. That all those cars just bolted and left because I guess it lasted longer than what they thought it was going to be. I don't know. And they left. They bowed.
Yeah,
they didn't finish their task. The leader dropped out of the race friggin' leading.
The whole entire top 3 all left. We were left with the 4th place on back still here. But hey, at least it gave us a little bit of a dynamic battle for the lead that's currently going on. But it takes a while for drivers to make a pass. Wasn't sure if Kenny Kibbe was going to be able to make a pass, but able to do so. And now leaders still within 4/10 of one another.
It's all about the Parker Cup to spread awareness about autism. And we're doing just that. As Kenny Kibbe now battles with Minda. They bounced off the wall. They slapped the concrete, put a big smile on their face, and kept on going. And this battle for the lead continues. 30 laps to go at Indianapolis. Our final round of commercial breaks. Our saw blade top 5, there they are. And it's getting good at Indy. We're down to just 5 cars. Oh, correction, 6 cars. We got 6 cars left. So there's your top 5. Add Ryan Seneker, and that's the rundown. We'll take you to the finish when we return from Indianapolis in the blue collar Brickyard of 2021 on LSRTV.
Every customer, every single time needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
Hey, it's Wesley Outlet on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Of course, remember, you can watch it and then you can listen to it on CRN, the community radio network, at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
Wheel to wheel, battle for the race lead. New race lead down the stretch. Here comes Jamie Frederick.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Of course, remember, you can watch it and then you can listen to it on CRN, the community radio network, at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
Down the home stretch at Indianapolis, and the 14 of Kibbe has fell back now to fourth. Minda leads. Hardin is now in second. Jeffrey Hardin. Pearson third. Kibbe has fell back to fourth. Samuel, something happened to the 14 car, and Hardin and Pearson capitalized on it. Late race pit stop on the 14.
Yeah, came in right when the window opened, was that of Kenny Kibbe, so shrinking the time that he was going to be putting in for at least putting more fuel in. So we're going to be seeing if Kenny Kibbe, if this strategy works out for himself, is Pearson now going to be coming into pit road as well. And this is going to be the call. Who's going to be coming into pit road? The drivers that want to stretch it out the furthest, they can go out to lap 77. But here's the 96 just crawling his way into pit road, and
This
might be a little bit of damage on that right
pit
side.
Stops. This is green flag pit stops, believe it or not. Pepsi perfect. 73. 27 laps to go here at Indianapolis. And we have Minda leading. .45. Remember when he bounced off the wall? He's back in this thing.
Yeah, I see Menda bounce
Back
off a
in
couple
it.
of times.
Menda,
Kibbe's
Hardin.
bounced off. Still puttering along, they are. As Pearson's actually going to stay extended time on pit road, try to get some damage repair as he had clobbered the wall on that right side, and so deciding to get a little bit of repairs done, recognizing, hey, a lot of us are struggling right now. We'll just continue to keep running our laps and staying out here.
Well, we started with close to the fast 12, and then we were down to half a dozen. They just disappeared. I mean, we thought something was going wrong, but they all just disappeared. And come to find out, with now 25 laps to go, 3/4 of the way through, we were told that they had already committed to another obligation and they had to bail. The leader quit the race. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? He did it.
It wasn't just our leader. It was our whole entire top three, just all at once, just all pulled into pit road and left us from fourth back to fourth on back, and we're just questioning, scratching our heads for about 6 laps, still scratching our heads about it. I mean, what a weird moment to see racing.
Hey, Samuel,
just seeing your top
I'm just
three
here
that
so I
have
don't
dominated.
get fined.
Yeah. We made it to halfway. We're good. We did it. Now we're out. We thought
Bruce's
Ledbetter was
buddy.
going to lap the whole entire field, and now he's not. He's back going to finish back in 9th place.
Hey, he bailed. He bailed on them. And he left. I was like, what? What are you doing? Why?
How could you do this?
Hardin is 30 seconds back to the leader, and there he is. That is Minda, number 45. That's Jason Minda. Jeffrey Hardin, Kenny Kibbe, And believe it or not, Samuel, there's 3 cars in the lead lap. That's it, 3 cars.
3 cars, and they're still just puttering along right now. But we're expecting to see, Menda as well as Hardin, and you could throw in our 4th place runner into pit road here shortly, all expecting to be into pit road in the next 3 laps or so. And right now, I think the biggest question has to be, will they have to keep on pit road for extended time? And also, don't get caught with any silly penalties that can hurt you in the long run.
There is that 45 machine, Menda's car. What is on the back of the rear deck lid of that car, the rear spoiler? What is that? Is it Happy Man with hands in the air? What is it? What is that? Is that a monkey? A little monkey?
It's a stick figure, it looks like, with something.
Well, let's zoom in. He's on the pit lane. The leader's into the pits. Let's zoom in on the back end of his car and see if we can find out what it is. Who are
We'll
you?
see all the different cameras if there's...
We cannot look at the back end of that car. Okay, well, we can see the front end. We can see the front end, but we can't see the rear end. Look at this. What was it?
Oh, no.
Nah,
nope,
damn it, flew by too quickly. My glasses couldn't even help me. Hardin's on pit lane, by the way.
Yeah, maybe if you go back, we take a screenshot.
There it is. Hey! It looks like a devil
So it's
skull,
like an
devil
arrow.
skeleton man with his... He must have had somebody break his heart.
Yeah, most likely.
I don't know why that's funny. I don't...
It's something that you just don't... It has been an event of... We don't know. We don't know what's going on. We
don't know
We
why.
came in, 11 drivers started this race, and we're like, okay, we're going to see it. It's fixed. It should be close racing. It was just utterly dominated by that of Ledbetter, and then you also had Alan and Michael Hardin, all 3 of them dominating the first aspect of this, and then they all just left after halfway.
And they just left. Yeah, and now we got a guy that's leading the race that's got a broken heart. Not anymore. Kenny Gibby's back out in front. Menda's car.
It looked like... Well, we were checking out Menda so long that he actually had to stay in pit road for extended time. So what was a battle for the lead is gone, and we're back to where we were at before.
And now, by the way, we have 5 cars back on the lead lap. Brian Seneker is a lap down. Who will kiss the Parker Cup? There is a Parker Cup trophy up for grabs. Who will get it? That's the question. And we also want to thank the great folks at Spectraform for being a sponsor of this race. That's like a souped-up rig virtual chair, if you will, Samuel Dyer. It sounds like they've just done a whole bunch of cool stuff to it for bells and whistles.
Oh, yeah. No, it is made for everyone that is in a normal, size. I looked at the sizing they had. They go up to 6'4", but my super giant self does not fit because being a 6'9" fellow.
Talking about fat people?
No, I'm super tall.
Is that... Oh, okay,
you would
tall
fit
people,
perfectly
short
in
people. Who, me?
Yeah, I would imagine you fit perfectly in it.
Well, I mean, I have lost weight. I feel really good about myself lately. Here's a second place car onto the pit lane, and I believe that's Joseph Tyree. He had a spin earlier in the race, and Sagala is at a snail's pace coming down pit lane. You could be a little bit faster coming to your pit stall.
Well, he doesn't
here
want
comes
to be
the leader,
speeding like we saw Menda be.
There's Menda getting third back away from Sagala. Well, I mean, you drive like a tortoise though. Grandma, yeah. Grandma's coming to get you cookies. I mean, you know. There's the cars going
Gotta
by.
be careful. It's hot.
Tortoise, a tortoise. Tortoise in the hair.
Well, I mean, if we're basing off that story, Sagala, keep doing what you're doing. Oh man, what a race! This has been one of the most unique races of the whole entire year for me. That is for sure.
That's right. There he is, Jeffrey Harden. He's in second, 36 seconds back. Could something happen where, you know, Kibbe will let Harden run him down? I mean, this is definitely not what I thought it was going to turn out to be. 20 laps to go. Finally, we're 19 to go here in Indianapolis.
You know, if Jeffrey Harden, he needs to run about a tenth faster. But if he was running a tenth faster, and we gave him 378 laps, he would catch up to Kenny Kibbe if they kept on the same pace they were running at. But right now, I would say Kenny Kibbe's biggest worry has to be the drivers that are a lap down and around the 14, and banking that he does not get collected in anyone else's issues. For these next couple of laps, it's got to be just Kenny Kibbe focusing and racing the track, as he's got a big enough lead that he honestly could just completely slow up, race completely conservative, and he will not be caught.
18 to go. 17 when they come back to the line. There's the leader. And that is fourth and fifth behind them. That are lap down cars. Pearson and Sagala. And there is Minda, who was in third. There's second. No, that's not second. That's hashtag fake news. That's Pearson. Pearson's a lap down. I mean, you got the cars all over the racetrack. Yeah, he just went a lap down. And Kenny Kibbe, where is he at? I mean, he is right there going to turn one.
Entering turn one.
He just passed Pearson and put him a lap down. So 3 cars on the lead lap now.
I mean,
half the field is lapped. It's 50-50. Actually, 9 out of 12. It's 3/4 of the field is lapped or eliminated or gone. Whoa, look out! Car sideways. Pearson spit out. We need a caution. It was the...
Yeah, Pearson. Oh, Pearson, do you got a fast repair? You might want... Oh, no.
I thought he was going to lose it off the corner there just then. I was like, yes, caution. Ah.
I want to give a big thank you to everyone that is watching and has been hopefully enjoying what we've been having fun. This race has been chugging along 100 laps. It's a long one here at Indy in super late models, and we are down to our final 6.
You are the best. You are the best virtual fans in motorsports if you're sticking around, staying for the finish of this for sure. Definitely. 16 to go.
I wonder.
The Parker Cup is up for grabs. And, you know, if it would have been like a 30, 40 car field, I mean, 12 cars, we appreciate what we got. But, it just, but half the field leaving, they left. After half, I'm like, what? You cut the field in half.
Yeah, it was like the first 2, it made sense. With Racing Vernon and also with Adam in the 65, it made sense why they left, because they got caught up in a lot of early incidences, used up their fast repairs. They just felt like, okay, it's early in the race, I'm calling it quits. But then when you have your top 3 after halfway just pull to the pit road and all dip at the same time, and you're left with just half the field that started, it's kind of a little bit of just a head scratcher, and us just wondering, huh, like, yeah, how do you even go from there?
By the way, 28 laps to go in the Oxford 250 at Oxford, Maine. Derek Griffith back out in front. DG12. Here comes Cassius Clark, though, trying to make a return for the lead on the inside. Oh, wrong race, I'm calling. 15 to go here in Indianapolis. Kenny Kibbe, Hardin in second, Minda third, Pearson is fourth, Sagala fifth. By the way, 3 cars in the lead lap. We might have a battle for second brewing, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
We're seeing it.
Minda is ran down Hardin.
Slowly but surely, he's been running about anywhere from 3 to 8 tenths faster. Jason Mendes coming in the 45. He's trying to get back to second place.
This is for 13 laps to go now at the Yard of Bricks when they cross the start-finish line.
Wesley, it's still possible. I mean, at the pace that Kenny Kibbe's going, he could still lap most of the field.
This
He
game of
still has
cat
a
and
chance.
mouse continues for second. Okay, so here's second and third. Hardin and Minda. Where's Kibbe at behind them? He's in. Where the hell's he at?
I think that's coming out of turn 2, backstretch.
He's on the back straightaway.
He's-
All right. Now where is second and third?
He's 3/4 ahead of them right now.
So where are they at? If he's in the lead, where are they at? Where are they at from on the blimp view? Can we change the blimp view?
They're probably in the
from
middle of the
second to third.
Yeah, they're in the middle of the front stretch.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not
you
even
know,
close.
You gotta have a stealth rocket or something. Unless these guys take each other out, you know, that might happen.
Whoa,
There's
go
the
back.
leader. Yeah, go back to second. Yeah, go back to second. There you go. This is the battle for second.
This is
right
racing.
here. This is your best battle on the racetrack. And look at Minda stalking his prey like it's a piece of cheese on a rat wheel. To the inside. Yeah, I don't know what I just said. Minda after Hardin.
You know, you got a bunch of good ideas at the start, and then maybe they don't connect by the end.
I'm just happy to be here. What can I say? I meant to say that I was trying to say he's trying to reel him in like a rat trying to get a piece of cheese, and it came out mouse wheel or a rat wheel. And yeah.
I mean,
What the hell kind of rat goes on a wheel? It's a hamster, you know? Come on now, Ralph Mouse. Yeah.
If you're on a wheel, you ain't catching nothing.
I mean, you know. By the way, Cassius Clark back around. Curtis Gerby and Derek Griffith now. Oh, and they just had a big wreck on the back straightaway in the Oxford 250. Big trouble. I did it again. Coming up on 10 laps to go here. Here coming up at Indianapolis. Kenny Kibbe and Minda for 1 and 2. Hardin the third. Samuel, I don't see Kenny Kibbe running down those guys unless they wreck or something, you know. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's more
10
of
to
a
go, by
fact
the way.
of how many other drivers are going to be going a lap down? None, because we're
Here's
down
your
over
leader. Here he comes down to the line. 10 laps to go. This time by at the Yard of Bricks in Indianapolis.
Man, I mean, Sunday has been one of those days. It's usually a relaxing day, and the phrase "a Sunday
Sunday,
drive."
bloody Sunday.
We're seeing these guys have a Sunday drive where they're just cruising around.
We certainly are, man. This thing's pretty much done. I mean, it's an open book shut case. I mean, give the Parker Cup to Kenny Kibbe. We thought we were going to give the Parker Cup to Bo Ledbetter, and then he decided to leave while leading. I couldn't believe it. That was
I mean, based on what I'm seeing now of where drivers are at, Bo Ledbetter would have lapped everyone. Everyone would have got a lap down at the end of this race, which would have been cool to just see. But now we're just watching our final 6 drivers. Big credit to the final 6 that are still here racing and, at least trying to finish out this race.
fun times for sure as we watch these drivers working their way with 9 laps to go. 9 to go here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Ken Kibbe. What a performance for that driver. And just absolutely impressed with what he's done in that 14 car. Yeah. He's there at the end. And that's what counts the most, right, Samuel Dyer? 8 to go in Indianapolis in turn 1. A whole new meeting. A whole new meeting. Yes. You got to be there. You got to be there at the end, literally. And
I don't know if
that.
He certainly has. Wesley, I don't know if it happened to you, but ever since our leader, once Ledfield, Allen, and Michael Harden left, our telemetry for showing the laps got a little bit goofed up, at least on my end. It is not getting reset.
Yeah,
and it's been kind of funny to watch.
I think it's funny. I think it's really funny, you know. We needed these cars and they left us. We lost our telemetry. It's all cattywampus.
They broke
now.
it.
They broke the damn timing and scoring. I mean, seriously. How can the guy be 13 laps down in last? He's 84 laps down. What's the deal here? Like, seriously. Was it? I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't find it. The hell with it. The words of the great
Hey,
Harry Doyle call from Bob.
We could hop on board. We could just hop on board with Kenny Kibbe and see how he's feeling.
Hop on board with? We're down
I don't
to
know.
3
Just
cars.
to see how he's wheeling
Who are we gonna hop on board with? Who is this?
Let's just see how he's wheeling it. Look at those hands. Helmet cam on Kenny Kibbe.
Kenny Kibbe, helmet cam.
Let's take a lap on Kenny Kibbe.
Take a lap. Let's watch him go around the racetrack. Yeah, nobody's around me. Thank you, Ledbetter, for pulling in because I'm leading. And Kenny Kibbe doing good down to the inside. Wow, right almost to the below the apron there. You see him fighting that wheel there for a second. Then he gets it right back going again.
Right along.
I mean, yeah, Kenny Kibbe working to the west end of the speedway now into 3 and 4. Five laps to go here at the line at Indianapolis, and 5 to go, ironically, in the Oxford 250. Cassius Clark and Curtis Gary fighting for the lead. Derek Griffith third at Oxford. Sorry, 5 to go. You wanted me to tell you. You wanted me to tell you what's going on in my life. I told you.
Hims was wanting to know. He was really wanting to know.
Kenny Kibbe.
I mean, I think that race is going to be finished before this one's over.
Jason Menda. Jeffrey Harden, Pearson, Segala. Remember Segala, a lap down. He got himself a podium there last year in the inaugural race of the blue-collar Brickyard. And what a performance by the number 14, Kenny Kibbe, still out in front. Jason Minda and Jeffrey Harden, I think they finally separated from each other.
Closest battle, almost 5 seconds between that of Harden and Menda for second. Cassius
Clark just won his first ever Oxford 250 at Oxford Plains in Maine. So there you go. And you were right, Samuel. That race is done, and we're not even done yet.
we got a lap and a half
still
done.
Leading. We have 4 laps to go. Yes. Kenny Kibbe leading. Let's ride on board with him high above. Let's do the drone view again. Brought to you by All American Pools. There you go. Little plug. Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, I don't. 3 to go.
Well,
Samuel, it was a pleasure working with you, bud.
It really was. We get to do this again tomorrow, but we get to go do Super Speedway racing at Talladega. That one's going to be, in some ways,
wild, utter chaos, yeah. I believe. Yeah.
It is going to be a lot of single file racing, that's for sure, tomorrow.
We'll have more than 12 cars, and it will be pack racing at its finest. All hell is probably going to break loose when the big one. It's not a matter of if, but when. And, boy, there's just, 3 spots left for the playoffs up for grabs, or 2 spots. That's it. It's like NASCAR Cup Series, drama, if you will.
Yeah, and,
And there goes. Go ahead, brother.
Man. Well, 2 laps to go, but, last week got to see Cole Raz getting his win in the Cup Series. Did do the math. Cole Raz will not have a shot, even with his 2 wins. He's not making the playoffs.
Yeah, it's
not
sad.
Enough starts.
It's sad. It's sad. It's sad, but it is what it is, as you said. Laps are winding down for the number 14, Kevin Kibbe. For the lap and a quarter remaining to the west end of the speedway off turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Here he comes to the line. The CRN 1 to go. 1 more lap to go. Got a lot of great things planned, including soccer, volleyball, football, and iRacing. We are CRN.com. Final time, Samuel Dyer. It is Kenny Kibbe looking for the checkered flag after bouncing off the wall in the early going. It's his race to lose right now on the back straightaway for 1 to go.
Kenny Kibbe just needs to make sure he gets onto the entry of turn 3, and he could just coast from there with 44.5 seconds the difference between first and second. Kenny Kibbe, he just needs to run 1 more corner, and he'll win here.
Off of turn number 4, the west end of the speedway, the crowd is cheering, the light bulbs go flashing, and he will kiss the Parker Cup. To the line, checkered flag, Kevin Kibbe crosses the yard of bricks and wins the 2nd annual Blue Collar at the Brickyard.
Huge
and now we await
congratulations.
2nd and 3rd. And now we await 2nd and 3rd. Where are they? Car 45, not 54. Where are you? Jason Minda. But do you ever seen Car 54? Where are you? The name of the movie? I flip-flopped it. Car 45, where are you? You need to do more in your life. Minda is leading. Jason Minda, Samuel Dyer. He'll get ready to come around and take 2nd place.
2nd place, finally able to get around Jason Menda finishing out, and a huge congratulations to all 6 drivers that were able to finish out tonight's race. As woo, gotta be careful there. Harden did not get the wall, and he'll be finishing out 3rd place.
And finally, 3rd going to Jeffrey Harden. Bryce Pearson coming across the line. Joseph Sagala will settle for 5th. He is on the lead lap at the checkered flag. He got himself a top 3 finish last year. And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Hey, Kenny Kibbe gets to burn it down here at
for
victory
Kenny
lane.
Kinna. Yeah. Yeah. Kenny Kibbe is about to burn her down as another first-time winner of the Blue Collar Brickyard here in Indianapolis when it's all said and done. Fun times at Indy. Here's a look at the unofficial results for the inaugural race last year, the 2nd annual event tonight in the Blue Collar at the Brickyard. Kenny Kibbe wins. Jason Menda, 45 seconds. Not a chance to run down Kibbe for 2nd for the win. Jeffrey Harden is 3rd. The promoter of this event, the 44 car, he'll finish on the podium 55 seconds back to Kenny Kibbe. Everybody else is multiple laps down or single laps down, including Bruce Pearson, 1 lap down. Joseph Sagala, 1 lap down. And then it is Ryan Sineker halfway through the field, and they all at least were able to finish the race, Samuel Dyer.
Yeah, and the rest of the field was not able to finish, as you had that of Michael Harden as well as Richard Allen and Bo Ledbetter. All after halfway came into pit road and just parked it. Just said they were done, even though they were dominating.
That's not all of them.
The last runner in 11.
That's not all of them. One more. Add one more to the field.
One more.
Go ahead.
Adam, you did a great job. You made it 9 laps.
Quick break. Quick break from Indianapolis. You know, Hims breaks me, not you, Samuel, but you're breaking me right now. A quick break from Indianapolis, and we will try to talk to some of these drivers that are available and wrap things up here at the Brickyard. LSRTV back with more in a moment after the conclusion of the Blue Collar at the Brickyard. Kenny Kibbe, the 2nd driver to kiss the yard of bricks.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
Wheel to wheel, battle for the race lead. New race lead down the next stretch. Here comes Jamie Frederick.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland, the face with the voice of the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League that you hear simulcasted on the Community Radio Network. And that's what we want to tell you about. We are excited to continue the partnership of covering esports on CRN, just like we do with all the other broadcasts that I cover in real life, like MAV TV, Short Track America, Speed 51 TV, Fox Sports Radio for college, high school sports. The Community Radio Network does the same thing. In addition to broadcasting real athletics, we're excited to be the radio voice of LSRTV's coverage of the Northwest Cup and Truck Series presented by Tom Denchel Automotive Group, the American iRacing League, and special events along the way. It's very simple. On your web browser, laptop, tablet, or cell phone, go to wearecrn.com, click on play,
and you are able to keep up with the action. It's very simple. The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Check us out when you can. Esports coverage from LSRTV on CRN, the community radio network. We are CRN.com.
Welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as the checkered flag has fell in the second annual Blue Collar at the Brickyard. Kenny Kibbe picking up the win. None of the drivers have popped in our communication chat for post-race, but we do just want to kind of give our final closing thoughts on things. Well, Samuel, it was interesting. It was around the 12 cars when the green flag fell. My apologies. I got a little hair cowtail up there, a hair lick. I don't like it. I'm fixing it there. Sorry, I'm fixing my hair. So, anyhow, what do they call it? A cow lick? Is that what it's called? The cow lick? Yeah, the cow lick.
Looking like alfalfa?
Looking at all yes. Yes. So, anyhow, Samuel, your take of the race. What a great race it was for Kenny Kibbe. So, I mean, it was a gift. We saw Bo Ledbetter dominate the beginning. We thought he could lap the whole damn field. And then they come down to the pit lane, and the whole half the field disappears. And a gift is given to Kenny Kibbe. And then Kenny Kibbe did what he needed to do to be strong at the end, obviously, and be the winner of the race.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where there was so much promise and potential that was built up at the start of this race, and we weren't really sure how it was going to continue on. But yeah, we saw, that of Ledbetter just absolutely dominate the first half of this race. Looked like he was going to lap everyone, and kind of a gift that landed into Kenny Kibbe's lap. But he did have a little bit of a battle there with the 45 machine just for a little bit there, but pit road mistakes happened. And once again, It was a complete gift to Kenny Kibbe to win this race.
Yeah, it certainly was. And again, we do want to thank Jeffrey Harden and everybody that was involved. Obviously, we want to acknowledge, again, the great people that were involved in this race, including Spectrum Forum, autismspeaks.org if you'd like to know more and helping out with autism, children with autism, and the Parker Cup, again, going to the driver of, Kevin Kibbe, and second different winner in this event. Hopefully they continue it because I think it's for a great cause. I think it's great to spread awareness about autism. I wish that it would have been a lot more exciting than what it turned out to be. I think, Samuel, going back and checking everything, we had one caution flag, and that was it. When it was said and done, we saw dominance of that driver of Bo Ledbetter just running away with it. And then everybody disappeared, and it changed the entire complexion of the race. And then when it was said and done again, Kenny Kibbe did what he needed to do for sure. So, would you do this again? What do you think, Samuel? I mean, maybe the super late models, Daytona, Talladega next. Maybe not Indianapolis. Indy could be different. Pocono, what are you thinking?
I mean, if they went to Daytona or Talladega, that would be a blast to watch, just to really see how the drivers in this draft package would affect these super late models. And, with it being at Indianapolis, like we saw here today, it was a lot more on how the drivers saved their tires, were cautious through the corners, and you ultimately saw a huge gap on the skill level that we were seeing here, and that's what really gave all the different spacings that we were seeing, which was awesome to see the drivers that were picking up and were putting down some of the fast slaps. But you also got to see a lot of struggling with there not being a lot of cautions and drivers staying close with one another. And if they change up the racetrack, that'd be awesome. But I think if there was a bigger field, it really would have changed also the aspect of this race.
I think so, too, as well. I really do. I believe if we would have had 30, 40 car field, definitely than 12, it would have made it a very, very fun time. Samuel Dyer, as always, my friend, I enjoy working with you. And, of course, one more final look at the world's greatest race course of America, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, here in Speedway, Indiana, on the virtual iRacing server. And it is all done. Kenny Gibby winning the second annual Blue Collar at the Brickyard. And, of course, our next broadcast will be tomorrow night, beginning at 11:35 Eastern Time, with coverage of the final race of the regular season in the Northwest iRacing Cup Series presented by Tom Denchel Automotive Group from Talladega. A couple of spots remain for drivers to make the playoffs. It should be wild virtual drama on iRacing. And we look forward to bringing it to you tomorrow night on LSRTV as well as on the Community Radio Network. For Jeff Stabnow and Charles Wooten, everybody at Rocket Media LLC, great job, Charles, in production. For Samuel Dyer, I'm Wesley Outland. Congratulations, Kenny Gibby, Sunday night super late model winner, kissing the virtual yard of bricks, taking the second annual Parker Cup in the Blue Collar at the Brickyard. Be good to one another. Keep on praying for America. And thank you for watching.